believe music is something that should be shared with most people, and it helps, inspire and to help create other arts that, people haven't seen before. And with these mainstream artists, it's just that it's incredible how music can do that to create something new. We could combine trap with reggae, or jazz with classic R&B, and that's something that really amazes me with music, and that's something I really want to do with my music. And I just believe music is like water. It could shape into anything. When I was really young, my dad exposed me to a lot of the classics, like the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, and all that. So I sort of grew up listening to a lot of classic rock. But as I grew older, I got exposed to the classic R&B and rap, Tupac, Nelly, Boyz II Men. But my most influential artist that made an impact on me right now is J. Cole, Logic, Kendrick Lamar, and Gallant. I recently found out about him, but he definitely made an impact on me, especially Childish Gambino. I can't leave him out. I was born in the Philippines, another city in Pampanga, and reppin'. I was born there. I wasn't born here, but I came here when I was 4 years old, so 2002, and I've been raised in Canada ever since. So most of my life has been here. But I am planning to go back to the Philippines. Most of where I have my memories are here in Canada. When I started out with music, I originally began singing. That's sort of hard to believe for some people. When I was 5 in the Philippines, I used to sing a lot of karaoke. I used to sing a lot of NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. That sort of stopped when I came here because my mom wanted me to become a nurse. My dad wanted me to become a basketball player, but that didn't really pan out. So they introduced me to piano again. So I did definitely stop singing. So I went to piano. I stopped there. Then I went to guitar. I stopped there again. Then I finally landed on the drums, which I've been playing for at least 7 years now. Then I went back to guitar. My dad did teach me a few stuff. Most of the time I learned myself, and then I took a few piano lessons, and then I'm back on singing. And then that's when I started combining all those things into producing. So that's where I sort of came about. I think it's the amount of new music I find either on Spotify or even just the street performers in downtown Toronto. The fact that I can create anything I want. I could literally create something out of a video game sound, or someone screaming, or someone saying a funny phrase, and I could sample that and turn it into a sort of melody. And the fact that I can create that sort of art, it's limitless for me, basically. And as scary as it is just somehow when other people do that, that's how they became about. That's how they became who they are today. Temple was a very specific name for me because when I was thinking about it, I was trying to think of how or where my music comes from when I make music. And when I thought of temple, I thought of the head of the human body. My body is the temple of music, and in religious terms, I would call it the temple of the Holy Spirit. And I was raised as a Christian, so that's where I sort of took it from. And I did have a bit of trouble confirming that name with myself, because in terms of just producer or just a singer or somewhat, there was no such thing as temple. So as I started producing, it just stuck with me, and basically my mind is the temple from where my music comes from. That's basically how it came about. So this EP, Wild Youth, before I even thought about making it my own team, basically Wild Youth is an album that everyone could enjoy. It's basically about everyone celebrating different parts of their lives that they accomplished, whether it's graduating college, whether it's getting their G2. It's basically just living out your younger years, basically, while you still have time, right, before all that responsibility kicks in. And it's just, I want people to, with the music, whether it's a cover or an original in the EP, I want people to use those songs to celebrate, right? It's sort of a feel-good sort of album. The funny thing is, it actually connects with the third album. Since it is about mental illness, basically, this EP could be seen as a mask towards that album. It's a mask basically saying to, oh, I'm happy and everything, but when the third album comes out, it basically shows what's behind the mask, all the depression, all the struggles, and all the illnesses. So basically, it just shows what people do to occupy themselves, to keep themselves busy away from their anxiety, depression, and all that. So it could be seen as that, or it could just be seen as something that you could be hyped about and like bump out in the car with your friends. My first album, Sinfonia, was released 2015. I released it like halfway through the year, so around this time. It was more of a relaxing sort of album, and like I tend to put, even though it's just instrumentals, I tend to put like stories behind it. So on SoundCloud, I would write in the captions of what the song is about, and basically Sinfonia was just about my struggles and my faith and everything like that. The second album, Misery Church, was another feel-good album basically. It was supposed to be called The Bad and Ugly, but halfway through I decided to change the name, and it's just the contemplation of sort of sins, like hence the name Misery Church, right? So like basically it's just a congregation of songs that are in a church, but they can't really sort of hold themselves as sins, right? And this third album that's going to come out, well, which is based off mental illness, as I stated earlier, is called We're All Alright. Basically, the name comes from when you ask someone if they're okay, and they're like, yeah, I'm fine. But when you really know it's not, right? So I think if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see the cover art and you'll see how the artwork will relate to that sort of thing. My Instagram handle is _Temple_Official or _Temple Official. Search either of those names up, I don't remember. But yeah, I would like to give a shout out to my boy Kabindu for pushing me to do music, and we'll actually link his SoundCloud and Instagram below. He's actually a sick producer. I'd like to give a shout out to Rosales. He's actually a sick creative director for helping me. He's like down here with the mic and Try behind the camera. I'd like to thank everybody that's been supporting me. Another thing about this team is basically just Wild Youth is basically a group of creatives to like whether it's an artist, singer, photographer, creative director, anybody that like create art is part of that team. And basically it's just to show that there's no limits in creativity, and like, you could like live out your art and live out your life as a youth, right? So yeah, just create fearlessly.
I got no doubts. I got no